everyone, it's NonnaGrace. You know, this is going to have to be a very short video because I've got a battery that's flashing at me. So I'm going to see if I can do it before it clicks off. If it clicks off before I'm done, I'll have to edit. But anyways, I was watching one of Green Dream Project's video, and they were talking about different weeds, and I had mentioned in my comment that I too eat weeds. When I was growing up, my dad would go fishing all the time. He would go fishing just about every day when he retired. He retired at 62 because a lot of guys didn't live until 65. And he ended up living till 93. So anyways, he would go fishing. And when he would go fishing, if the fish weren't biting, and in his mind, he used to bring home a lot of fish. So when they weren't biting, he always came home with something. And sometimes it would be mustard greens, or it would be burdock, or it would be dandelions. Now, the mustard greens, there's two different kinds. There's a sweet kind and there's a bitter kind. And the way you can tell, because I always forget whether it's the fat leaf or the skinny leaf that's the sweet or the bitter. So what I do is I pick a leaf off of it and I chew on it, and if it's bitter, you'll know it's bitter. And if it's sweet, it tastes pretty good even raw. So, and then you pick the mustard greens. You try to get them before they flower. I have cooked them after they've flowered, but you've got to be more careful because now they've got probably little bugs that want to eat their nectar from the flowers. And the burdock, that's the one that has that terrible little stick-tight thing that when you go walking through the woods, it sticks to your pants and you have to take it off. Well, I eat the stalks of the burdock. I like the stalks. Now, being on keto, I haven't had them in a while because the way I would have to make them is I do have to roll them in flour, and they don't taste as good, I don't think, with anything other than a wheat flour, and wheat flour is not the kind we're supposed to have, but I still might eat them. I'm not sure. I haven't decided. I have to find them first because it's getting harder and harder to find burdock. People are cleaning around their barns and their pastures and things their burdock is getting harder and harder to find. But you look for it in May. May is when you start to pick it because it's just starting to come up. The stalks are tender, and you cut the leaf off and you would boil the burdock. You have to clean it off a little bit. It's like stringy, like celery would be. You try to take some of the strings off, and you boil it and then you fry it, but you roll it in flour and fry it. Sometimes my mom would just boil it and then put it with eggs. You can have it that way too, but I really like it with the flour. And then the dandelion. There's different types of dandelion. We used to bring home the kind that had the really long leaves. They're the kind that you find when you go shopping in the store and they have dandelion. That's the leaf that you find in the store. Well, we used to pick them and eat them. They were free for us because you took the effort to go get them. And so those are the different green weeds that we would eat. Now, alongside of the house, this used to come up all by itself, and it was mint. I don't know how the mint got there, but the mint was there, and when we'd have a dish of pasta, which I don't eat on keto either. Boy, pasta is so good. I wish it was part of keto, but it's not. Anyways, you would have your pasta, and we'd go out into the side of the house, and we'd pick some mint leaves, and we'd crush them up a little bit, or rip them up, not crush them. You'd rip them up a little bit and throw them in your dish of pasta with the olive oil, and it was absolutely delicious. Okay, then there was another thing that I was watching. I was watching Mike on, he changed his name, so I got to look at it, CarnOMad. I was watching Mike, and he was talking about exercising, and he likes to do it on his bar that's on his patio. And it's in the sunshine. I wish we had sunshine all the time. Today was sunny. But anyways, he was talking about how when he would go past that bar, he'd want to do his pull-ups or chin-ups, whichever he would do. And I was telling him that I have a bar that's in my doorway. And when I pass the doorway, most of the time, your entry fee is to do a pull-up. So you do a pull-up, and if you don't do a pull-up, then you've got to do 2 pull-ups, maybe 3, 4 at the most, because that's all I can do anymore. I was up to 6, but now I'm back down to 4. But anyways, if you have that as your key. Like when you want to enter somewhere, you say, or like when you played the game, Mother May I, you had to say, Mother May I, in order to take the step forward or to do the umbrella or whatever she was saying you could do. You had to say that was your magic word. You have to use the magic word. Like please and thank you are magic words. Well, the pull-up bar is the magic key to get into a room. So that's one way. And then you're building your upper strength. And so all of you that are doing those planks, build your upper strength, and you're going to get to the 2 minutes before you know it. And I'm going to aim for a little higher because I made it so close to the 2 minutes. But this time I'm going to have a timer there so I know exactly how far I am. And I will not talk during it because when you talk, when you're exercising, you can't focus at what you're doing. Plus you're using other energy. And this way I can get every second of that plank without chatting through it. I might do an voice-over thing so that it's not so boring to watch me just do a plank. That would be kind of sad. Now at work today, I have one more thing to tell you and then I will say goodbye. But at work today, I went into the break room and we have a bathroom in there. And so I was thinking I would use that bathroom instead of the bathroom down the hall. So when I go in, I flush the toilet. I don't know why I flushed the toilet, but I always flush the toilet. And when I flushed it, the water bubbled up like it was a fountain, and it was going over the toilet seat, just flooding over, and the floor was getting flooded. I shook the handle trying to get it to stop. It wasn't going to stop. So I ran down the hall to my boss's office, and I said, we need to get the maintenance man because the toilet in the break room is just overflowing. All that water that got wasted. Then I went back to the break room, picked up all the electrical cords that were on the floor because the computers would have gotten ruined if it ever got to that point. It was working its way towards their cords, but I picked them up and unplugged everything, and so that they were safe, so that the computers were safe, but the floor was flooded. The maintenance man was at the other school getting the lunches, and he said, I'm getting lunches, can you just turn the turn-off valve? Well, guess where the turn-off valve is? Not next to the toilet, not next to the sink. It is up in the ceiling. So by the time he got there to turn it off, the room was quite flooded. So we wasted a lot of water, and it was sad that all this water got wasted because I know a lot of you that carry water. That water would have been, it's like gems. It's like a jewel. It's gold. It's Texas tea, whatever they call it, black gold, like on Beverly Hillbillies, I'm thinking now. That was the other thing that happened today. So I'm done, I guess. I don't know how to end this. You know, ending is so hard. So I guess I'll stop before the battery dies. Talk to you at another time. Bye.